Jim Nuger from Bloomberg. For Minister Skarphéðinsson, does Iceland intend to open or close any further chapters before the election in late April, or do you want to put this off until after the election? And if I could ask Commissioner Fule, given the potential for an Icelandic government that is less favorable toward the EU process after April, what gestures or incentives can you offer to ensure that Iceland stays the course?
Take another question there.
Thank you. It's Tamás Nagy from Brooks Info Hungary. Two questions to Minister Skarphéðinsson, if I may. The first one is, as far as I remember, in April you said in relation to the fishery chapter that so Iceland doesn't want derogation from anything but want innovative and flexible solutions. Can you please specify this somehow? And the other thing is related to my colleague's question, but to Minister Skarphéðinsson. How much and what kind of efforts will the Icelandic government make to convince the population about the positive impacts of the EU membership? Thank you.
Another question in front. The lady there.
One question for Mr. Fule. I would like to ask you regarding the environmental policy. As far as I understand, there are 14 special requests from Iceland. Could you comment on these requests? And Össur Skarphéðinsson, could you do the same? I would like to hear more about these special requests regarding the environmental issues. And also, could you expand on what you believe that Iceland can get out of the regional policy issues?
We start with Minister. Please.
First, I was asked a question about if Iceland had decided to open any further chapters before the election in April, and it remains to be seen. We have advanced all in all 29 negotiation positions, and it remains to be seen how they are processed in the respective channels, if that would be possible. But what I think is correct for Iceland to do now is consolidate on what we have achieved so far and try to eliminate some of the problems that are outstanding in those chapters that are already opened but not yet closed. With regard to the question on derogation and specific solutions, I have always said that I don't think that there will be no special need for any derogation regarding the fisheries chapter, because I think the proposals that Iceland will put forth, they will depend on specific solutions, and because the difference between the Icelandic system and the Icelandic geographical position and the position of her fisheries and the common fisheries policy is quite big. I think it will be possible, with the innovative thinking of the EU and with a record in finding solution of that type, to agree on specific solutions that satisfy Iceland without it being possible to point out that they are breaking the acquis. That is what I talk about when I talk about creative innovation in specific solutions. And it's possible to point to numerous such solutions to different problems in the past in the accession of other nations in relation to other fields than fisheries, perhaps also in fisheries as well. And I'm asked about how much efforts the Icelandic government will put into convincing the people of Iceland of the merits of the EU. Well, as you know, the goal of the Icelandic government is to bring home the best possible agreement and then put it for the population to decide in a public referendum. And it will be up to those that are strongly in favor and those that are strongly against to sort of compare the different arguments and put them on the different scales. It will be the people that will decide in the end. But of course, a party such as mine, who is the ruling party in the coalition now, is all for the EU. That's how it is. And we will, of course, in the future, do whatever we can. But I also think that gradually the debate in Iceland is centering quite a lot on the currency. Recently, the central bank issued a report that showed that Iceland, for the currency in future, really has only two choices: to continue with the krona and with some kind of capital controls in disguise, or with the euro. You could read out from that report as well that, at least I have the luxury as a politician to interpret the report in that way, but I read from the report really that when the euro has emerged from its present woes, which I believe it is starting to do, it would be the wise thing for the Icelanders to adopt the euro. To do that, they will have to join the EU. So I think I've always been very convinced that in the end, this will be the argument that will win the case. And it so happens that I have the utmost belief in the common sense of the Icelandic people, despite the politicians they sometimes elect.